To describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Oh boy, another make sense. So everybody's talking about this, and if you go back and you listen to the full clip of the confrontation that they had, it's clear that Steve Smith got into his feelings. And that's to be expected after what allegedly was said to him by Jerry Jeudy. Steve Smith was going to be his feelings. And Jerry Jeudy also being in his feelings because of what Steve Smith had said about him. But the only part that I'm upset with Steve Smith about, you get in your feelings. We all get in our feelings. It is what it is, man. But the only part that I'm upset with Steve Smith about is that him saying he was going to apologize to Jerry Jeudy. That's not necessary. Because what Steve Smith is saying, I'm sorry, people. Where's the lie? I'm sorry, people. But Jerry Jeudy has been an absolute bust of a first-round draft pick. Hasn't lived up to his draft status. Has just absolutely been a disaster for the Broncos. And so what Steve Smith actually said about him, all of it was true. Every single ounce of it, it was all true. And I know there's this big disconnect, and people think there's this big disconnect between current players and former players. Well, if a former player is talking about your play and it's bad, Jerry Jeudy, what are you saying you didn't play bad? Because if you don't think that you have played horribly throughout your career, that's a you problem, man. And the last time I checked, if you're in the media and your job is to critique a player, whether you're a former player or not, your job is to critique the player. So he's saying exactly what he's seeing. And it's not just what Steve Smith is seeing. If we're all being honest, it's what all of us are seeing about Jerry Jeudy. And what? Because Steve Smith was a former player, that means he can't say it? Since when? In what world does that make sense? How about this, Jerry Jeudy? If you don't want Steve Smith, or basically anybody else that knows anything about football, if you don't want them to say that you're just a guy, how about this? Play better. And Jerry Jeudy, with all this built-up rage that he had at Steve Smith, went out there last night against the Chiefs and had 3 catches for 14 yards. And look, we all know that Russell Wilson is a shell of himself, but if you watch the game, you know exactly what the truth is. Jerry Jeudy was not open. He was being locked up by Kansas City defenders, man. That's exactly what happened. So somebody's going to have to explain and make sense out of this one, because I'm sorry, Jerry Jeudy. Throughout your career, Steve Smith is 100% right. You have played like just a guy.